time for LS to introduce us to the world of Moonstone Renewer and a staff of flowing water plus Night Harvester. LS, the floor is yours to show us the heals on heals on heals.
Oh God, the Church of LS. You're opening it up.
Yeah, I am.
There were definitely masses on Mondays, guys. So masses on Mondays. Oh man. No, Moonstone, I mean, obviously, Moonstone Renewer, Staff of Flowing Water combo, it's pretty broken, right? 2-second cooldown Moonstone Renewer, Staff of Flowing Water, Rapids is 3 seconds. I made a video about this on the T1, with T1, the official org. Made a video about it that went into it, listed a lot of different champions that can obviously utilize it, as well as like non-traditional champions, right? Like Lilia and Nidalee, and other champs and whatnot. The thing that's so broken about it is in mid game, Night Harvester is, you look up Night Harvester's damage. It's 125 plus 15% AP, right? And it has 90 flat ability power or something, right? The Night Harvester proc that you do, Moonstone gives you like a ruby crystal, like every 2 seconds almost. It starts getting to that point. Or like early on, even at the very beginning of the fight, before it begins ramping up, it's just giving you a ton of healing, right? Once you start getting Staff of Flowing Water amplifies the healing that Moonstone is giving out by 10%. And then because Rapids is 3 seconds, Moonstone is 2. If you also have a healer shield on your own champion, you can have this up on 3 champions, right? So you're giving anywhere from 51 to 57 MS. You're giving anywhere from 30 to 40 ability power to the ally that you're afflicting, as well as yourself. Like the item's just it's just so broken. I mean, I don't know what gymnastics people have to go through to say that Night Harvester is better on Nidalee or like Lilia in certain games, or like Liandry. Well, Liandry's
I actually like so this is what I wanted to talk about. I actually think Liandry's has a lot of value on Lilia, especially if you're in a situation where you feel like you need to go a Zhonya's first item, which we see quite a bit. Like I feel like then you're so delayed on the Moonstone Renewer and Staff of Flowing Water that it's like, for me, it's like you're doing 2 different things at the same time. Because Zhonya's is pretty much saying to me that you want to like flash Q into ult, and then Zhonya's like you're just like playing Lilia for an engage tool. So if you're doing that, it doesn't seem like Moonstone Renewer and Staff of Flowing Water really like synergizes at all with that like idea to me.
Right. So, but we're ultimately talking about 2 different champions at that point. We're talking about one Lilia that wants to go in and fight, and then we're talking about one that wants to be a control freak.
Go bold.
Right. So
like
they're 2 different.
Ease.
Yeah. Two totally different play styles. I'm trying to think of a champion that might have had this in the past. I guess one's not really totally coming to mind. But the other thing I wanted to touch on is the notion that you can't go this combo if you don't have mages on your team. That's just not true. It's so terribly not true. There's so many 80 carries that have AP ratios, right? You don't need a mage in order to have ability power ratios on some of your spells, right? But then also MS is a stat that is really difficult to just say that it's not important. You have to really sort of like quantify it. You have to really dive into the context and stuff like that. Like Tristana, lots of AP ratios. Aphelios, tons of AP ratios. Jhin, I mean, he has AP ratios. Once you get Ardent Sensor, you also start giving him attack speed. In addition to like the heal and stuff like that, you give him attack speed MS, gets AP ratio on Q and E, whatever, right? Kaisa, AP ratios. Ezreal, AP ratios. Renekton, doesn't he have a 300-something% on his R?
On his R, yeah.
It's not practical that he will get 300% value. So what I like to try to say is that he'll probably get about a little bit more than half of this, right? His dominance lasts 15 seconds. He'll probably be afflicting you with it for around 9 to 10, right?
You think so?
I mean,
I don't know if he'll be that close to
if he's on top of you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how long he's actually able to
right.
like
but the MS helps him too.
Stuff.
MS converts to damage, which is something that stats can't really show that MS converts to damage, right?
All I know is I've had so many games ruined by this combo on champions that don't make sense that I now like hate you as a person. Like I just want you to like at this point, like God damn, no lie, you can go into my fucking match history. I just played with RTO, right? He's the Renekton one trick. Yeah. He decided to play Nasus top with Dark Harvest and Moonstone Renewer first item, and I couldn't play the game.
That one's weird. That one. I mean, I actually don't know my list. This is one of the arguments as well that's been thrown at me is that there's a list of champions that Nemesis and I had put out. It's on Twitter somewhere. Yeah, it is. Anivia, Heimerdinger, Ivern, Karma, Soraka, Morgana, Lilia, Fiddlesticks, Lulu, Lux, Malzahar, question mark on Malzahar, Maokai, Seraphine, Annie. It was specified on stream that it was Annie's support. Bran specified as support. Zac, Yumi, Janna, Nidalee, Orianna, Nunu, Singed, Senna, support or fasting. Now, she doesn't need to go Staff of Flowing Water, but I think Moonstone on Senna is insane. Teemo, Zyra, Nami, AP Twitch, Gragas, MF. And I mean, the list keeps going, right?
Right.
A lot of these are specified as support because it changes the way that these champions are in the game, and it almost lets them become a different champion. Because if you look at what this combo does, or just Moonstaff in general, you suddenly have Soraka W, which is what the hell's going on. Suddenly your champion just gets a new ability. You actually just gain access to Soraka's W in a fight, regardless of who you are. But then it just combos. The thing is that people that want to have this argument don't want to look at the games. Or go into the context, right? Because I'm a very big fan of practicality. How practical is something? How practical is it that the Night Harvester damage that you needed from the active of Night Harvester exactly mattered? In more cases, that the healing from Moonstone Renewer and the utility that these items grant and their power surge because they come online faster is likely going to help you out more, right? Which is that is a very convoluted conversation that is not easily had over Twitter, nor is it easily had even in a format like this.
Yeah.
Because it's a long conversation.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard conversation to have with people who don't understand the intricacies of the items or cannot entertain their value.
I mean, I'd say like the thing that makes Moonstone like OP in my mind is the cost of it, mainly. The fact that you can buy it earlier than other items is like one of the biggest benefits. Like, I don't think that Moonstone Renewer, if it was like 3,200 gold or 3,400 like other mythics, would be like even comparable. Like, I think that if it was like up by 1k gold, you would never buy it on Lilia. But I think part of it is just that it's so fucking cheap that you can get it so much earlier in a game than you can for other items. Yep. And then also, I guess the other problem is that like ability haste is really like kind of hard to come by these days. And when you're building a Liandry's, like the items feel pretty shit to sit on. Like when you're building a Liandry's on Lilia and you're sitting on a fucking lost chapter in the jungle, like that's pretty ass. So, I mean, I think that's probably the most OP part of it is the cost.
Riot should I think Riot should remove not remove Fiendish Kodak. Well, they should remove Fiendish Kodak from Liandry's thing. They need to make a mask item. Make the mask item cost 1,300 or like 1,200 or 1,100 or something. Make it have some version of Liandry's passive. You know what I mean? Like old Haunting guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like really low, like half of what it is.
Right. Or you know, maybe just make it have the pen thing that ramps up. You know what I mean?
No,
like even something small. The
magic pen. Magic pen.
Yeah. Make it have something small because this item feels so obnoxious to build. First, you have to get Lost Chapter, and it's like, wow, great, I spent 1,300 gold on 40 ability power, because you don't really need the mana in the jungle, right? And the level up passive doesn't really do anything in the jungle. You're investing so much gold in these really garbage stats that you don't really care about. And then you have to go and get a Fiendish Codex. And then you have to sit on so much gold. And that just feels terrible.
Yeah, I hate the cost of it, man. Like that's one of the things that I really don't like, and I felt like they removed. And it's part of the reason why I don't understand itemization right now, because there's a lot of items that like are really, really OP, and then the items that should be OP are just not OP, right? So what I'm talking about mainly is the interaction between like Zhonya's, Zhonya's is dirt cheap. It builds out of like some of the best components in the game, right? Fiendish Codex and Seeker's Armguard. Seeker's Armguard is so OP, right? And then after that, it's only 700 gold completion. It's 2,500 gold item. It's a 2,500 gold item that gives you the best active in the game and is stat efficient and builds well. And then you have Void Staff, which like you don't even need them to really have a MR for Void Staff to be efficient if you like do the math on it. Like, Void Staff just got buffed, right? Yep. It got cheaper, all that stuff. And then Death Cap should be the best item for these champions. So like I think that's another reason why Moonstone is OP when it shouldn't be, is that like the upside of going like full AP on these like mage champions isn't there. Like you don't when you hit your 6 items, you don't feel that strong. Like you'll be 6 items on Lily and be like, nice, I got 491 AP. Like I'm fucking yoked. Like it's not good. It needs to be Yeah, I mean it just needs to be it needs to be adjusted. Death cap needs to be cheaper, and I think one thing they didn't consider is they looked at death cap as an item, and they didn't like understand that they were nerfing the AP that you're going to have in general for these champions. So like the passive on death cap is now the percentage is now a lot worse, or like because you don't have as much AP, you're not as gaining as much from the passive. So like the fact that death cap is 3,800 gold and it's like useless on every champion. I mean, I watch every league around the world. Besides for LCK, I mean, I watch some LCK, but it seems like every single mage pretty much every single mage starts with Leandries, and they Leandries in a tier, they'll sit on a tier like early on their first back. Then they go Seraphs, and they go Zanyas, and then Void. And then their last item, if the game goes way late, is Death Cap. But that's like not how it should be. I feel like Death Cap should be like a third item comparable to what an IE is for AD carries that like spikes you out of control. And it just doesn't happen. So
Yep.
All right. Well, welcome to church. Hopefully you enjoyed your stay. Come back again soon.
I just want to make I'm just going to summarize real quick, D-Gun.
Yeah.
My point isn't that I think Moonstone and Moonstaff is OP, but it's because AP items just fucking suck. Like, so I don't know if it's I don't know if it's that OP. I think it's just amplified. Like, it's just better than your alternatives because the alternatives suck. That's how I feel about it.
There you go.
So
Clippable.
It's weird. It's fine. Anyways, I think that captures it all. There's a lot of people who are building it on champions. I did not suggest, right? But also, I think this combo is way stronger in the hands of people who take time to learn it, but also the higher up you go, like, specifically pro play, right? They're going to be able to utilize these intricacies a lot better.
All right. Well, we'll get to see what Riot's decision.
You just have to play slower. You just have to play slower with Moonstaff, I feel like, in a lot of situations.
Hey, thanks for watching VENN Esports. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below and explore our other videos. In fact, click on the ones on the screen right now. Otherwise, I'll get you.